as you all know, our mentor Ujjwal Shukla is here today. He will talk about his journey from being in Tier 3 college to leading tech at the unicorn startup as SDE ShareChat. Uh, so let me give a warm welcome, Shuklam. Thank you so much for accepting our Thank you so much for accepting our invitation, and we are very glad to host you today. Now, stage is yours. So, the basic house rules of today's meeting is you can ask the questions in chat section as many questions as you want. After Ujjwal's one complete, he can answer all of your questions. We have a separate time of the chat section where he can actually answer your questions. So feel free to ask in chat section anything and stay till end to know about the job hiring placement. And also we have one more surprise for you. After this masterclass, I reveal that. So hope you stay till end. And now the stage is yours as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Nitya. First of all, thank you for inviting me in this session. And thank you so much, guys, for joining the session. I know like it is pretty interesting that people from different region, from different colleges are joining this session. And I hope you guys will one day join the company which you have dreamed of. So thank you so much. So regarding me, I am 2020 pass out and I am working in ShareChat since Jan 2020. I joined ShareChat as an intern and I'm currently working as a full-time employee here, currently working as a senior software developer here. Apart from that, in my college days, I have given a lot of coding contests and I used to participate in hackathons as well. And I was runner-up in Hack with Infy. And there was one other hackathon from Microsoft in which I got third rank as well. So that's pretty much a brief introduction about me. So I'll be sharing my journey to you guys, that how from tier 3 college I get into ShareChat, which has now become unicorn. So during my initial days of my college, uh, I in my first year basically, I explored a lot. Like I have not done any project. I've not done any DS algo stuff. I just explored what my seniors are doing. So some of them are doing courses on AI and ML. Some were doing courses on Android. So I got to know about this thing that yes, I can pursue this line as well and this line as well. But I didn't started with DS algo because I didn't know about that DS algo is that important in my first year. So when I came in second year, I started working on my projects. So I started exploring Android development. I started exploring AI and ML, and I started making some projects using these technologies. I have everything which I've done in my second year. I have not done any course. I just used to Google stuff, and using that I used to make projects basically on that. So because of that, I got to know how I can make projects from starting, because projects are very important in your resume. This is the first thing. I also take interviews in ShareChat, and this is the first thing which uh, I noticed, that what interesting projects have you done. So that is the first thing which I noticed. Apart from that, at the end of my second year, one of my senior got placed in Microsoft, and when I talked to her, she had told me the importance of DS and Algo. Then I got to know that if I wanted to be in a top product based company like Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, even in top startups like ShareChat, Cred, and any other top startup, you have to be on your toes with DSA. You have to be good with DSA. So after my second year, I started with DSA and all. In third year, I used to do DSA a lot. I used to give coding contest. I used to do questions on Code Chef. Used to do questions on Lead Code. And after that, because of these all stuff, I got internship in DRDO. I got internship in one of the Australian bank named Macquarie. I got internship in ShareChat as well because of this. And that's why I'm saying that DSA is very, very important. Apart from that, I started giving hackathons. Like when I was in fourth year, I started participating in hackathons. And fortunately, my team members, which was there in my hackathon team, they were also very good developers, and we were able to make some good projects in that hackathon as well. And we got runner-up rank in Hack with Infi. Hack with Infi also hired with this hackathon, and I also got the third place in one of the Microsoft hackathons as well. After that, I got internship in ShareChat. I worked there. I got PPO, and then since I'm working in ShareChat, and it have been a phenomenal journey. Working in a startup, the pace at which you have to work, the ownership which you get, the learning is phenomenal. And I would like to tell you all that don't focus on these companies only, Microsoft, Amazon. I know these are all dream companies of many people, but there are other companies as well where you can learn a lot, and where you can get the ownership, right amount of ownership, which you will not get in tech giants. If you want to get that kind of ownership in tech giants, you have to be in very big position. And in startups, you can get this ownership at the starting of your career itself. So that's pretty much sums up my 4 years of the college, and my 2 years of 2 years of working in a corporate life.
So how's your startup internship experience look like? So you have worked in startup, but you did internship at DRDO and McWin. So we are excited to hear about your journey. What's your internship in DRDO look like? And if one wants to apply to such internship, how can he apply?
Yeah, so first internship which I did was in second year. At the end of second year, I got the opportunity to do intern at DRDO. So basically, there is a friend of mine which was working in DRDO, and he referred me. He basically forwarded my resume to senior software engineer there, and the senior software engineer found my resume pretty interesting because of the projects I have done. So I told you that I have done projects on Android. I had done projects on AI and ML in my second year.
So
So
what topic
yeah.
of the project? So can you tell our audience today that how did you prepare that project and what's the topic of that project so that they can also add in their resume and stand out like yours?
Sure. So, regarding the Android projects, I basically used to Google like what are pretty interesting, like from basic, what are the basic projects which are there in Android. So, when you will Google, you will be able to find that there is calculator which you can make. Then you can increase the complexity. And the last project which I made was the earthquake watcher. So basically what it does is, whenever any earthquake happens in the whole earth, it has a map, and it will point out to that particular point where the earthquake has happened in a real time. So that was one of the project which my interviewer found interesting. Regarding AIML project, at that time I only had some beginners project like face detection and voice recognition. These are projects which I have made, but he was interested in the fact that I was in second year only, and I have started exploring different things, and because of that he selected me to join at his team in DRDO. So yes.
So how's your next internships look like?
So the next internship which I did was in Macquarie. That is a Australian bank. uh, so in Macquarie, what I did, uh, so I had also applied through a referral. Referral is very, very important. I will also tell you how from being from tier 3 college, how can you get referrals as well. So I got referred from one of the employee in Macquarie, and then these rounds happened. First 3 rounds of interview happened, and the first round was obviously online coding test, which was based on DSL algo. Second was again online DS algo based round, but it was face to face round. That's These are 2 rounds which were based on DS algo. That's why I'm just focusing on the fact, like, if you want to crack top product based company, you have to be good in DS algo. So then in third round they asked me about my projects, and after that I got internship in Macquarie. My experience in Macquarie was pretty different from that of DRDO. Basically, DRDO is a government organization, so I got to know how things work in government organization. And Macquarie is a bank. It is a corporate bank. So how things work in corporate bank and how these two are different. So I got to learn uh, very interesting thing in during my internship, and both internship experience was very different. Yes.
Okay. So what are the key like highlights of like what you think that working in a government sector versus working in a private sector?
uh, Nishant, I'll take your question just after this question. So basically the difference between those two internship was that during my first internship, since it was in DRDO, the things were little slow, as in they focus a lot on work life balance. First of all, like if you start your work from 9, you can close your work from till 5, you can close your work. So after that, no one will ping you regarding what is the status of your project, and if there has been some issues. So that is the one thing. Work life balance was pretty different in both of the organization. Apart from that, one thing which was different in this, that DRDO focus on the design very well, because if they are basically, DRDO is a defense organization. If they want to make a software, they want it to be accurate at the first time itself. Because let's say if I am working on a project that is related to a missile, and if I introduce a bug there, then missile can go in any direction, right? uh, that is the one thing. Like, they focus a lot on design. They do a lot of research. Apart from that, in Macquarie, they also do a lot of research, but research is not that extensive as it was in DRDO. And uh, it was in DRDO. So and also in Macquarie, the work-life balance was little bad, but it was not that bad. It was very good if you compare that to a startup.
Great, great. So let's take few questions from the chat and then I
Sure.
will ask you. So can you share some, the first question is of Nishant Modak. He is asking how we learn DSA and any free resources.
So first of all, I think if you want to learn basics only, like if you want to learn about arrays, stacks, or something like that, you can open any online YouTube channel. Basically, all YouTube channel teaches you the same thing. So I think you can open any YouTube online channel and you can go through the playlist which they suggest. That is the one thing. Apart from that, the one thing which had helped me a lot, and which I think will help you guys also, is that don't think that I'll start practicing after watching this video or that video. So let's say you're watching a video on YouTube and the person is telling you about array. He has solved a one question on based on array. So as soon as he solved the question, just go on any online site, go on Code Forces, Lead Code, wherever the question is there available, solve it right away. Don't procrastinate things. Okay, if you'll procrastinate things, then I don't think you'll be able to solve that many questions. That is the one thing. Apart from that, if you're solving questions on online platform, and if you're not able to solve any questions, go to the discuss section of that question. So let's say if I am working on a question in in lead code and I'm not able to solve that, then I go to the discuss section of the lead code. I like there are lot of good what I can say editorials which are there, uh, which people put there in the discuss section. So you can go through all those section and you will get to know, okay, this section can this question can be solved like this question can be solved like, there are many different ways of solving a question. So you can go through the discuss section and you can then even if you have question, you can ask that in discuss section, people will reply. That I've seen.
Yes. So, do you think there are many online hackathons and competitive programming platforms? So, what are your views on that? How it helps you in your journey, and how it can help our audience in their journey?
Yeah. So regarding both, what I had experienced is that when I used to participate in any online coding contest or in hackathon, and if I get a good rank, or if I, let's say, if I win any hackathons, I can mention that in my resume. That is the first thing. That is the very important thing, because whenever a position is opened in any big giant, recruiters, like thousands of people apply on that position. So as a recruiter, if I'm a recruiter, I will get a lot of application. Then how will I filter out? I will filter out on the basis of your achievement section, what you have achieved. That is a big plus point if you have that achievement section in your resume. So basically it helps you out to get rid of the crowd. At like the initial screening, you will be able to clear that, and I have experienced that. I have got referral in many big companies, and that's what I think is that's because of these achievement section that I've got good ranks in online contest and I won hackathons. Yeah.
So let's take one question from the chat section also. So it is there. Can you tell me some tricks on how to learn DSA? It's the same again, same question. Can you tell about competitive programming and which platform is best for the learners?
Okay, so basically I would say that I am not that good competitive programmer. I used to give uh, uh, coding contest, but I was not that great. Some of my friends were very good. So they used to solve questions on code forces. So I think that is the best platform, and the community of code forces is really good. Like top coders, like if you'll say like where the world's number one coders code, he codes in code forces. So that is the one thing. And regarding if you want to start with competitive programming, like see, competitive programming is an enhanced version of this interview level questions. You like while giving competitive programming coding contest, you will get a much more difficult question and much more difficult data structures which will be used in those questions. So one thing, like you can't learn competitive programming from someone. You have to give the contest. If you don't, if you're not getting how a question is going to be solved, go through the discuss section and just read that editorial, that okay, this is a data structure which is going to be used for this question, and I'll remember that from now onwards. And again, the thing is, don't procrastinate. Solve that question right away at that moment only.
So there is one more question, like if a child is in fourth year, how he can target a product-based company?
um, if someone is in fourth year, I think it's never too late to start with DS Algo. You can start anytime. And one thing which I have observed is these tech giants, Amazon, Microsoft, ask repetitive questions in their online coding rounds. So what you can do is you can go through their previous interviews. People put their previous interviews experience on Geeks for Geeks, on Lead Code as well, and you can learn from that. Like, okay, Microsoft asked this kind of question. Now there is a data structure named as try, which Amazon asks. They ask try question in bar raiser round. So you can go through those interview experience, and you can see like, okay, this question was based on try, I should solve this as well. That is the first thing. Apart from that, you should have very good projects. If you don't have your good projects, you can start working on them right now. You have to manage your time, but you can start you working on those projects right now. And maybe you can use that project in your a semester project, major project as well. Apart from that, focus on the core subjects as well. So people focus on data structures, competitive programming, but they don't focus on the core subject like networking, databases. These are core subjects, and these companies ask the core concept regarding to these subjects to freshers. So you should also focus on them.
So how much time do you think one can devote, or what's the time management one can do to prepare for the placement off campus?
I think it depends on person to person. Let's say if you are in second year and you want to get in top product based company, then I think you have a lot of time. You can um, basically you can solve at least 2 to 3 questions of lead code or code chef. And if you want to go with competitive programming, you can solve questions on code forces as well. And apart from that, um, y- m- during the second year, you have not gone through the core subjects till now. Like, you have to study databases. It's still not being taught till second year. uh, Networking is not there, which is there till second year. So I think you have a lot of time, and you can be little flexible in terms of timing. Like, you can devote less time in your second year. But let's say if you are in fourth year, then and if you are just starting, you have to work very hard if you want to be in product based company. um, Basically, when I was in third year and I was doing DS Algo, I used to do 10 to 15 questions a day, and I used to code 10 to 15 hours a day. So that was the amount of time which I was giving to DS Algo in my third year.
So any questions? You can now the floor is open for the questions from our participants. Any question in the chat section?
I think there is one question from Sumit: which type of project we have to do for shortlist my resume in off campus? Uh, so basically, your project can be simple, but what I have seen most people do is they just copy paste their projects. Like, I have done a project. If I have done a project, then my friend will also copy that project to me. He will understand how the project is working, but he will not understand the basics of that project. That is a bad thing. If I am taking an interview and I ask you about your project, and if you're not able to tell me how on basic level your project is working, there's a high chances you will be rejected. So that is one of the thing. And I think you can focus on achievement section as well. Just start giving contests. If you are uh, if you are focusing on projects, then I think you are a good developer. You want to be a good developer, you have good developing skills, then you can go to hackathons also. And let's say you go to 10 hackathons and you won one of them. So you can put that in your achievement section, and when the resume will be forwarded to the recruiter, she she will she will see the achievement section, and she will then know that, okay, this resume is different from other resumes. So there is a high chances you will get a call from that company. So that is the other thing.
Okay, so yeah, so like you have explained that a competitive how people the competitive programming is so much important that they actually like separate your resume from the tech stacks, so that your resume can actually resume.
Nitya,
Am
there
I
is
able to
one pretty interesting question which is here in the chat. It is
yes?
from Nishant again, that I am from mechanical engineering and I am in 4th year. Which subject I would learn for shortlist? So Nishant, what like here is a good news for you. Company nowadays don't focus on your branch. They focus on the skills you have. If you are able to clear their rounds, if you're able to explain your projects, if you're able to clear the DSLGO rounds, they will hire you no matter what your branch is, right? And apart from that, the subjects which you are talking about, then since you are from mechanical branch, you have to put just a little bit more of effort. Uh, so the subjects are networking, DBMS, I think you can, if you are working on Java, then you should know the basics of Java as well. If that is a language which is usually there in college curriculum. Uh, Apart from that, there is one another subject which is named as algorithms. You can focus on that as well. Uh, I think that's pretty much it. There's not that much subject in this CS line. Core subjects are very less, so it's pretty easy to go through them and understand the basics of these subjects.
So also there is a one question that there are less resources for subject like CA and DBMS, or how can we prepare for it?
uh this is pretty interesting question actually. uh, Regarding CA and DBMS OS, I think there are a lot of YouTube channels. Like even in my college days, what I used to get is I used to take notes from my seniors, and then I used to go through these YouTube channel and then brush up my concepts. So you can do that as well. And if you want to prepare DSA, I think MyWays also have a DSA. Like MyWays also provide DSA resources, and you can go through those resources. They are very good. And also you can also attend the masterclass which they organize. They are very helpful. They will be very helpful to you all.
Thank you. So there is a one more question from sir. Where will you prefer a template for resume? So we also have one of the resume templates that we had given or prepared the template from the for resume for especially for tech people where they are like two-sided resume, a single side. So we actually provide the resume templates to our tech community. So you can have the access of that tech. Or do you want to add anything, Ujjwal here?
uh Regard like just adding to your uh, to your answer, uh, template, I would prefer template resume. Doc is not at all preferred. And one thing which I have seen most fresher do wrong is that they send doc file, which that is the worst thing which you can do as a fresher, I think. Because there is a different version of doc. Like let's say I am using MS Word of different version and you are using MS Word of different version, then your resume will be totally different for me, right? The alignment of the text which you have written will be totally different. So whenever sending your resume, send it in PDF format. Also you can use templates as well. You can use MyWays template which they provide. Other than that, there is a site named as Overleaf. There are a lot of templates which are there, and you can use one of the template which you file which you find interesting from that, and you can edit the template there. And even I edited my resume from Overleaf as well. I can put the site link in chat as well if someone wants to explore that as well. Just a minute. Overleaf. So you can go to this website and you can check out other templates as well. I have seen MyWays template, and that is also pretty good. Like, it is eye catching if you would ask me.
Okay. So there is one more question, that did you had some system design round in your interview, or how do you prepare for it?
If you are fresher, then most of the companies will not ask system design to you. They will focus on your projects. Your Sometimes they ask puzzles. They will focus on DS algo. That is the only things which most of the company focuses on. But yes, there are some companies which focus on system design as well. Like, there was one company, uh, I think Razorpay it was which had asked me system design question at that time. So but they are very, very less. So if you want to skip system design, you can skip that. That would be fine.
Great. So there's a one more question, that my ways how can help my career. Okay, so Mohit, I can answer this question, I think. So actually, we provide many resources to the many free of resources to the students, and we have also an initiative known as My Gurukul, where people can we actually train and place people free of cost. I'll explain about my Gurukul little later after this session, because now the stage is open for the question to Ujjwal. So I'll explain it later. Like after a few minutes, I'll explain to you. So there's a one more question, that what is the interview process in ShareChat?
Okay, so I joined ShareChat as an intern, so I can only tell you about that process, the intern process. So basically, I again got referral for ShareChat. I got referral from VP of Engineering in ShareChat, and then the first round was online coding test. Second round was DS Algo, and the third round was with very high designation person, and he asked me about my projects. So I think this is the format which generally most of the companies follows. So I think it is pretty same with all other companies as well.
Great. So there's a one more question, that I'm some from just let me know, Prasad Ambedkar. I have multiple skills, but my communication skills are not proper. So does it affect the interview?
If you will ask me, when I take interview, I just want, like, I don't focus on grammar, like what is the grammar of the other person. It doesn't matter for me. The only thing which matters for me, if you're able to communicate the thoughts which is there in your mind to me. Let's say I've given you one question, and one DS question, and you are able to communicate it how you will solve it, then it is fine. I like most of the people don't focus on grammar. It doesn't matter. But if that is also an issue, then I think one should focus on his communication skills as well. Because if you're not able to communicate what is going in your head in interview, then you will also be not able to communicate uh, when you will be in company as well. So no company will want to hire that. So just you just have to be decent in terms of communication skills. Everything else uh, is secondary.
So there's a one more question, that Pawan is in fourth year student. He's a good with DSA, and he want to know that he want to explore more harder problems or explore the development area.
Okay, so I would like you to explore both side by side. You should not take leave from DSA, since when you will be in practice, you will be able to solve the question faster in the online rounds as well. That is the one thing. Apart from that, if you have made some decent project, then I think development is done. You can skip that, but if let's say you don't have projects, or you have not that good projects which you are able to explain, which is not that interesting in terms of interview, then I think you can focus on development as well. But what I think is, if you have decent projects, then you should focus on DSL only.
Great. I think there is a one question that what is the difference testing and cloud support associate, which is best?
Okay. uh, I think it depends on your interest as well. So I have seen some testers, we call it QA here, quality assurance engineer, and they do a really good work. And if you are interested in testing stuff, like you are not that interested in coding, but you want to be in this software line, then I think you can be in testing. And regarding cloud support associate, I think that is a bit on the, it is again not coding skill which is required for these, but you have, like, you will need more knowledge than tester to be in cloud support role. So it depends on at what level of knowledge you want to get, if you want to be in this industry.
I think we are good to go. So, any other question, guys? Do you have? So just let me know in the chat section, or just raise your thumbs up, show your thumbs up, and some excitement for the session. Because Ujjwal has find his way time in the middle of the good weather. So I just want you to guys be more attractive.
I think there is one question from Rishabh Maheshwari. Overleaf resume are certainly eye-catching, but they don't score good on ATS. Any tips on beating the ATS system? Because that's a big bar to cross resume shortlisting. One thing which I think of shortlisting resume is the keywords. Let's say I am a recruiter, and I want someone who have worked on Java. So you should mention, like, if you have worked in Java, you should mention that like there can be a different section for skills in which you can mention language and the language you have worked in. So if you have worked in Java, then you can mention that in resume. And I think that by that way you will be able to beat ATS system. Uh, I follow these steps, like I follow those resume, and I don't think like there is any difficulty which I've got in crossing that ATS system. So that is the one thing.
Oh, and also if you use MyWays, we have made the resume. We have resume workshop with Miss Thera Gangwani. So we have also made the ATS friendly resume. And if you want the resource kit of that, please do not forget to fill the feedback form and just let me know in the chat section. Do you want that resume template? I'll ask my team to share it with you, all the templates and all the resources. Just let me know in the chat section. Any other questions? Yes, please. So please do not forget to fill the feedback form so that I can send you over your mail or phone, which you provide in a feedback form. So any other questions we have for Ujjwal today? Is there anything in the chat section? Just let me know, or raise your hand, or you can show your thumbs up in the reaction section. Just let me know. I guess all clear with all the questions. So let's wrap up this session now. So
One thing which I would like to say at the end, sorry Nitya, I'm just
no
taking a
problem. Yeah, yeah.
little bit of time. Thank you guys for joining the session. Even on Saturday, you are attending this session, and I hope the things which have worked for me will work for you all as well, and you will you will able to get in that dream company, whatever it is. And just let Nitya and MyWays mentors know that you have got in this company because of this session or any other session. Like every session of MyWays is really really good, and the resources which they provide are really really good. Just go through them once and see the improvement in skills by yourself as well.
Thank you so much. We are very glad to host you today, and the way you put all the students' query and all, that's a great. And we wish that you have a phenomenal journey ahead also.
Thanks
Yeah.
Nitya.
So thank you so much, Ujjwal. So I just take a little of time of audience to introduce myself. There are many questions, and I've also said them that I will explain them my Gurukul program at the end of the session. So basically, thank you so much for everyone to join in. As Ujjwal said, that it's a pleasure for us to host you, and you should be proud of yourself because as in such a great weather you are studying, so it should be really proud. So just let me tell about my Gurukul initiative. So we have a one initiative known as my Gurukul. My Gurukul is an initiative which we actually believe to, it's a basically derived from the ancient psychology, an ancient Indian origin, which believe to increase your consciousness, confidence, and employability. So we know that tier 2 and tier 3 college students faces issue while placement and cannot get the placement in the dream company sometimes. So for them we act as a bridge between them, so we provide them free placement and training all over together. They can actually, they just have to give the test, and if they pass the test, they can have the interview with our employers, which are like Paytm, Money, and main startup like Fleetex, and we have many in the MNC startups which are in our like employer partners. So they just need to give the test, then we conduct their interview with the start that company or employee side. So then once he clears the interview, get the in-hand training or internship for that for 3 months, and then can directly get placed into that company. We do not charge anything from the student, we just demand their like their seriousness to learn and their motivation to go somewhere in the tech field and do something. That's a absolutely free of cost program. So guys, do you want to learn more about, just let me know in the chat section, like if you are interested in this. So there's a one feedback form which is in the chat section already, so you can just fill that so that we can actually connect you with the my Gurukul, or you can register for the program which is I'm saying at my Gurukul, myways.ai/my Gurukul. So you can actually go and register yourself for this program at myways.ai/mygurukul and see like you can also get placed with the internship. So for the students which are right now in third year or pre-final year, we have a 1 year long internship for that, and after that placements offers for them also. So we cover third year and fourth year student, and for first and second year we have a numerous resources for you, like we so there is a one more question in the
Someone is
chat.
asking my college. Yes, I am from MSIT.
Yeah. So basically, you can actually go through the website, myways.in. You can register at my Gurukul website and fill the feedback form so that we can connect with you. So there are still one question from the chat section which is long. So, Ujjwal, can you take it?
Yeah, just seen that, Vamsi. What projects to do in machine learning? Okay, so I think if you start from basics, then there are some basics projects which you can do, like face recognition and voice recognition, something like that. These are pretty easy. There are some libraries which you can use, and you will be able to do these stuff. Apart from that, then you can just deep dive in machine learning, and then you can do something like I have made one project which was named, which is Pokemon classifier. I had made that. So like there is a GitHub repo which I've gone through, and I've then just like gone through the code, and then I wrote the project from myself. So that is the other projects which you can do. Like machine learning projects are generally interesting, so whatever you'll do, I think it will be worth mentioning in the resume.
Yes. So I think we should end the session. So hope you all fill the feedback form and register yourself to my Gurukul. Say thank you so much again once again joining in. And also we have one more session in the next class, which is basically on DSA sorting. So the details will be out on the website too. So do not forget to send fill the feedback form so that we can have your email to poke you up for the next session. Thank you so much, Ujjwal. Thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks, Nitya.
Okay, bye. Thank
Yeah,
you. Have a lovely weekend ahead.
yeah, you too.